Hi everyone, it's Steph here from Chaos in the Craft Room. Thanks so much for joining. Today I'm going to be showing you how I made one of my cards using the paper Rose Outback Friends paper. And this card has a mini book and envelope on it, which I'll show you how I made as well. And I'll also be announcing the winner of my giveaway at the end of this video. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button and let's get started. So this is the Outback Paper Friends paper that I've decided to use for this card. However, the paper pack actually comes with 12 different designs and each of the papers are double-sided. So there's four cute animals on this one and I just couldn't decide which one to use initially as I love them all. And all the extra little bits of paper that I don't use and cut off, I keep because they are double-sided and the other side has really nice paper that works really well together. And I just fussy cut around the kangaroo to use for the card. When I'm not actually sure what size card I want to make, I start off with a larger piece of paper that I can then trim down later once I've finished. So for this card, it was quite a large card that I wanted to make. So the card bases is 9.5 inches by 7 inches, and then the smaller paper on the inside is 9 inches by 6.5 inches. And then I die cut two hollow circles, slightly different sizes, with the diameters of 2.5 inches and the other one was 3 3/4 inches, but it really doesn't matter. I then also had a little bit of Hessian ribbon, which I cut down to 4.5 inches long. So to make the envelope, I found it really easy to use the We Are Memory Keepers envelope maker. However, you can make envelopes with just a score buddy, which I can show you in another YouTube video if you are interested. So I created a gift card sized envelope according to the We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board. However, that creates an envelope that is 2.5 inches by 3 3/4 inches for the actual envelope and fits in a 2 by 3.5 inches card, or in our case, a cute little book. And if you'd like a separate video on how to use the We Are Memory Keepers punch board, let me know. But it's the instructions are reasonably easy on the actual punch board itself. And then just fold all the score lines and get the shape of the envelope to start appearing. And then I wanted to create a bit more interest with the brown envelope, so I also just wanted to go around the edges with a bit of brown ink, and I just used the Lawn Fawn Dough ink just to create a bit more colour on the envelope. Okay, so to make the cute booklet, I start off by selecting my paper for the cover of the booklet and cut it down to a 4-inch square bit of paper. And then I score it at 2 inches down, just the center of the bit of paper. And then I score up 3/4 of an inch from the edge of the other side. And that's really just so I can fold that up and create a cute little pocket for my book. And then I just trim into the center of that to create the little pockets and trim off a little triangle off each side. And that's just to help prevent getting too much paper near the spine of the book so it can close well, and also creates a bit of shape to those little pockets. And then I just fold them up and stick them down. And just make sure when you are sticking them down, you just stick them down on the very edges, because obviously you still want it to be a pocket and don't want to stick the whole thing down. Alright, so to make the inside pages for the booklet, I then get a few strips of white paper to make the inside pages of the book, and I recommend trimming it down about 1/4 of an inch shorter than what your actual cover of the book is. And then I scored them at 1 7/8, and that's just to make it 1/4 of an inch smaller than the actual cover of the book, and that's just so the pages don't stick out. And you'll see that I only made mine about 1/8 of an inch shorter, and that's why the pages stuck out at the end. The other thing I recommend is if you're adding lots of extra pages, is to trim down the center pages a quarter or at least an eighth of an inch less than the first page. And that's because the center pages will stick out more because it's got the thickness of the other pages behind it. Now I realized quickly that I didn't trim that down enough when I made my inside cards. That's fine, I just used a guillotine to crop that down. But if you follow the instructions I said earlier, you shouldn't have that problem. And then I just used some pegs to hold the papers together, but now you want to hold everything in place with how you want it in the book. And I've just used a grey lead to pre-mark where I want those holes. So to make the holes, I just use a really thick needle. Now be really careful when you're doing this. You need to make sure all your fingers are completely out of the way. And I just use quite a bit of pressure to push through 3 holes. So one right in the center of the book, one at the top and one at the bottom. And then I just thread a little bit of thread onto my needle, and you create like a little love heart. So you go in through the center and then make sure the very tip of the string doesn't come out. So hold that with your thumb, then come back through the top of the booklet and then go all the way to the left side, go back out towards the main part of the outside of the book and come back through the middle. And then we've created a cute little book. Just make sure at the very end you want one piece of string on each side of the string that's coming down the center of the booklet, and then make a double knot and tie that together when you're happy with the tension of that string on the outside of the booklet. And there we are. That's our little booklet tied together nicely there. And the length of the string, you can really choose what length you would prefer that to be. And that's how we've created our cute little booklet. Then I just used some double-sided sticky tape to stick my envelope together. And I usually just find this a bit easier than glue, just to make sure that the glue doesn't seep out and stick it down in areas that I don't want it to stick down. But it's really personal preference. And then I get ready to assemble everything on the card. So first I stick the hessian down, which gives a little bit of thickness to it. So when I stick everything else down, I want to make sure I'm supporting it all. So I go to stick down my circle, but just to make sure that it's not being folded down onto the cardstock, I put a bit of extra support there, and that doesn't have to be the hessian ribbon, that's just what I had. It could just be a bit of extra thick paper or some foam to hold it up. Then just stick down the other circle, and it doesn't matter exactly where, but you'll see here I've actually just accidentally got a little bit of glue on the paper there. And if I had the right type of equipment, I could actually I can actually get that off really well once it's dried, or I could have tried to wipe it off a little bit now, although I usually find that creates a smudge, which I'll be creating a few quick tips videos about. But then when I want to glue down my little feature piece with the kangaroo there from the Paperrose paper, I just use a bit of foam, and I just want to put the foam in areas where the hessian ribbon isn't. And to try and get the envelope sticking up a little bit further than the other pieces on the card, I just put 2 lots of foam tape on there. And here I was just trying to decide if I wanted my card with the envelope opened or closed and how I wanted to present the card. And then I used the other side of the paper, which was a cute pink pattern on the other side of the paper, with my little scrap pieces. I just die cut 2 little flowers to put on the back of the card there as well. And then I always just put a little bit of slow drying glue onto my foam tape when I stick it down. That just gives me a bit of wriggle room so it doesn't stick straight onto the paper in the wrong spot. And then I realized that my book is actually quite thick. So on the envelope, I just score it again an extra 1/8 up, and it makes it like a little 3D envelope, and that will allow my booklet to nicely sit in there. And then to cover that glue dot, I've just cut out an extra green circle and cut a few more to make it blend in, but I also thought it added a nice bit of something extra for the card. Now with these little die cuts, there's a few ways that you can easily get glue onto them, and that's with the glue dots, which I don't have. Or you can also put double-sided adhesive on the paper before you actually cut them out. However, I forgot to do that, so the other easy way is just to put it on another bit of paper and just put a really fine layer of glue onto the back of them, and just use the tip of the glue tip to sort of wipe it on, and that way you don't have extra glue sort of oozing out from the sides when you push it down. And then I just trimmed down the paper to the size that I wanted. So here is the final card that I have and how I decorated my little booklet. And I've just started decorating it, and I'll add some really cute memories on the inside, and you can see here how the little pocket works. Okay, so now for the most exciting part. Thank you so much to everyone who participated in Chaos in the Craft Room's first ever giveaway. I was really excited to see all your comments. So let's get on to Comments Picker and see who's won the prize. And congratulations, Leslie. Make sure you email me as per the email in the comments below by the 20th of June and let me know you want to claim this prize. And thank you so much again for participating. And I loved reading all your comments as always. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed today's video, and look out for any of the quick tips videos coming up in the future. Congratulations to today's winner, and I can't wait to see you all next time.